Reading through the Bible in a year, April 14th, Leviticus 18, Psalm 22, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and 1 Timothy chapter 3. Yesterday, we had a section of Leviticus that's probably not for children. Today, we're finding ourselves in another one. If you have young children who have not yet been or had the birds and the bees explained to them, especially from the alphabet community, I would probably recommend putting this one off for them. You can skip ahead. I leave little chapter markers in the bottom so you can skip to the next one. Or if you want, you can listen to it yourself and then explain it to them. Or if you're fine with it, we can just let it rip. That said, you have been warned. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites. Oh, let me go into this beforehand. So the stuff we talked about yesterday, those were things that were happening within the land to which they were going. The stuff today is a thing that was common in the land to which they were going. Also, many of the people in the surrounding communities, this was a common thing for them. All of the things listed. But God makes them holy in that there are certain things that they should abstain from. All right? And those things that they should abstain from are those which pertain to sexual immorality. In fact, if you remember, as we were reading through the book of Acts, when they were dealing with how do we handle Gentiles and how do we explain to them the things required of them from God so that they would be considered holy before God, especially in light of the new covenant. How do we handle that? What were the things that they were told? To abstain from sexual immorality and what? Not to drink blood, and to stay away from things that were sacrificed to idols. So these main things are that which distinguishes us from other people in the world. And that's what we're seeing here. This continues today. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. And when he says this, understand that he's saying, this is the reason for which I'm saying these things. I want you to be peculiar to me. I want you to be holy to me. Begins, you must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees. I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and laws, for the man who obeys them will live by them. I am the Lord. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. Do not dishonor your father by having sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your father's wife. That would dishonor your father. What's the difference between a father's wife and your mother? Well, if your father has two wives, or if maybe your mother died and he remarried, he's saying, don't do that. Do not have sexual relations with your sister, either your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether she was born in the same house or elsewhere. Do not have sexual relations with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. That would dishonor you. Do not have sexual relations with the daughter of your father's wife. Born to your father, she is your sister. Do not have sexual relations with your father's sister. She is your father's close relative. Do not have sexual relations with your mother's sister, because she is your mother's close relative. Do not dishonor your father's brother by approaching his wife to have sexual relations. She is your aunt. Do not have sexual relations with your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. Do not have relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife. That would dishonor your brother. Do not have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter. Do not have sexual relations with either her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. They are her close relatives. That is wickedness. Do not take your your wife's sister as a rival wife and have sexual relations with her while your wife is living. Do not approach a woman to have sexual relations during the uncleanness of her monthly period. Do not have sexual relations with your neighbor's wife and defile yourself with her. Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech. For you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman. That is detestable. Do not have sexual relations with an animal and defile yourself with it. A woman must not present herself to an animal to have sexual relations with it. That is a perversion. Do not defile yourselves in any of these ways, because this is how the nations that I am going to drive out before you became defiled. These things were apparently commonplace there. Even the land was defiled, so I punished it for its sin, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you must keep my decrees and my laws. The native born and the aliens living among you must not do any of these detestable things. For all of these things were done by people, or by the people who lived in the land before you, and the land became defiled. If you defile the land, it will vomit you out as it vomited out the nations that were before you. Everyone who does any of these detestable things, such persons must be cut off from their people. Keep my requirements and do not allow any of the detestable customs that were practiced before you came, and do not defile yourselves with them. I am the Lord your God. Now Psalm 22. Again, lots of notes in this section, especially on this psalm. You'll see why. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far off from saving me? So far from the from the words of my groaning. Oh my God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer. By night, and am not silent. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the praise of Israel. In you our fathers put their trust. They trusted, and you delivered them. They cried to you, and were saved. In you they trusted, and were not disappointed. I am a worm, not a man, scorned by men and despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord. Let the Lord rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. Yet you brought me out of the womb. You made me trust in you, even at my mother's breast. From birth I was cast upon you. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Do not be far from me, for trouble is near. There is no one to help. Many bulls surround me. Strong bulls of Bashan encircle me. Roaring lions tear their prey, open their mouths wide against me. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart has turned to wax. It is melted away within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You lay me in the dust of death. Dogs have encircled me. Or rather, dogs have surrounded me. A band of evil men has encircled me. They have pierced my hands and my feet. I can count all my bones. People stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them, cast lots for my clothing. But you, O Lord, be not far off. O my strength, come quickly to help me. Deliver my life from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dogs. Rescue me from the mouth of the lions. Save me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare your name to my brothers. In the congregation I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you descendants of Jacob, honor him. Revere him, all you descendants of Israel. For he has not despised or disdained the suffering of the afflicted one. He has not hidden his face from him, but has listened to his cry for help. From you comes the theme of my praise in the great assembly. Before those who fear you, I will fulfill my vows. These poor will eat and be satisfied. They who seek the Lord. I looked away for a second. I lost my spot. Verse 26. The poor will eat and be satisfied. They who seek the Lord will praise him. May your hearts live forever. All the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations will bow down before him. For dominion belongs to the Lord. He rules over the nations. All the rich of the earth will feast and worship. All who go down to the dust will kneel before him, those who cannot keep themselves alive. Posterity will serve him. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness to a people yet unborn, for he has done it. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Read the introduction here. Ecclesiastes contains the reflections of an old man, the preacher, as he considered the question of meaning in life. He looked back and saw the futility, vanity, worthlessness of chasing even after the good things this life can offer, including wisdom, work, pleasure, and wealth. Even if such things are satisfying for a time, death is certain to end this satisfaction. In fact, God's judgment on Adam for his sins, Genesis 3:17 through 19, echoes throughout this book, especially in 12:17. Yet the person who lives in the fear of the Lord can enjoy God's good gifts. Young people, especially, should remember their Creator while they still have their whole lives before them. Chapter 12, verse 1. Traditionally, interpreters of Ecclesiastes have identified the preacher, who is called the son of David, king in Jerusalem, as Solomon, the 10th century BC. Begin. The words of the teacher, or preacher. This translation reads it as teacher. Others refer to it as preacher, just so you know. Son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless. Or vanity, vanity, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What does man gain from all his labor at which he toils under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south, turns to the north, round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place where the streams come from, there they return again. Everything is wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again, and what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? It was already here, long ago. It was here before our time. There's no remembrance of men of old. Even those who are yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. I'm going to park a lot on this one. I'm going to do my best not to, but this is primarily where I go when talking to atheists about God. Because everyone has even the atheist has something in his heart that longs for some sort of legacy, something to leave on for future generations. But when you ask them, tell me the most important things that your father cared about from when he was 20 to 30 in a 10-year time span. Tell me the things that were the most important to him, that you, just like today, are holding super important in your life. Tell me the same things that he had. They can't answer you. But what about your grandfather, your great-grandfather? And they start to realize that if the world is exactly as they believe it to be, just a random string of accidental causes that have happened to occur, then there is no legacy. The only thing we pass on is the things that are important in a child's life as they're being developed, but after that, who knows if they're going to keep to it? And so I'll use this to speak to them because they don't hold to any higher power, even though within them, as we read in Romans chapter 1, they know the truth of who God is. This book, I almost call it letter. Largely, it is a letter. It's a letter to future generations from Solomon, who had everything at his disposal. He had more wisdom than most people will ever even imagine. He had a lot of intelligence. He had wealth. He had peace on all his borders. So he can go and pursue every one of his heart's desire. Even with all of those things, his result is, at the end of everything, when death comes for all men, all that matters is where you stand before God. That's the point of this letter. I, the teacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. I devoted myself to study and to explore by wisdom all that is done under heaven. What a heavy burden God has laid on men. I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is twisted cannot be straightened. What is lacking cannot be counted. I thought to myself, look, I have grown and increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I have experienced much of wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom, and also of madness and folly. But I learned that this, too, is chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. Pulling up the last of the notes here for you. Go. Now on to 1 Timothy chapter 3. Paul continues. Here is a trustworthy saying. If anyone sets his heart on being an overseer, an elder within your church, a pastor, teacher, etc., he desires a noble task. Now the overseer, elder, must be above reproach, the husband of but one wife, temperate, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not given to drunkenness, not violent, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own household well and see that his children obey him with proper respect. If anyone does not know how to manage his own family, how will he take care of God's church? He must be not a recent convert, or he may become conceited and fall under the same judgment as the devil. He must also have a good reputation with outsiders. Those are the people outside the church, so that he will not fall into disgrace and into the devil's trap. Deacons, likewise, are to be men worthy of respect, sincere, not indulging in much wine, not pursuing dishonest gain. They must keep hold of the deep truths of the faith with a clear conscience. They must first be tested, and then, if there is nothing against them, let them serve as deacons. In the same way, their wives are to be women worthy of respect, not malicious talkers, but temperate and trustworthy in everything. A deacon must be the husband of but one wife and must manage his children and his household well. Those who have served well gain an excellent understanding and great assurance in their faith in Christ Jesus. Although I hope to come to you soon, I am writing you these instructions so that, if I am delayed, you will know how people ought to conduct themselves in God's household, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and foundation of the truth. Beyond all question, the mystery of godliness is great. He appeared in a body, was vindicated by the Spirit, was seen by angels, was preached among the nations, was believed on in the world, was taken up in glory. Pulling up the last bit of the notes here for you. As mentioned previously, there are a ton of great notes in this section. That's it. That is all the reading and all of the notes for today. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Behold the word of the Lord.